All right. Good evening, folks. Another evening here under the beautiful lights at Warner Park. We're all set and ready to go in this Big Six T20 competition. The Oualie Sports Management team coming up against the City Sunrisers, which will be the final match in the preliminary round of this Big Six T20 tournament. My name is Joel Mingo. I'll be covering this game for you in the commentary box. Wonderful night and wonderful evening here under the lights. Let me say good evening to our listeners here and worldwide. If you've never been down to Warner Park to look at cricket, this is the evening, folks, to come and have a look. It's a wonderful atmosphere. Players look energetic, ready for cricket. And what promises to be a real exciting evening of T20 action. As I said earlier on, this is the final match in the preliminary round. And this match has huge implications. The Oualie Sports Management team has not gotten off the mark in terms of a win in this tournament. They'll be looking to really fancy the chances here this evening to come out with the W under their name. I believe it'll be Tariq Jeffers to pick up the bowling from the media center end. Left arm orthodox spin bowler. And so we're on the way. First ball of the match. It's down the leg side. I believe it probably would have brought something. So the umpire delayed response signals are wide. Straight up in the air. Fielders coming under it. But it just falls in front of him. And for a second there, Tariq thought he would have been in business. Lofted it in the air with some spin. The batsman is coming on the front foot, pushing it. Not really trying to overhit it. Jeffers will really looking to stamp his authority in this tournament. He hasn't had the best of tournaments thus far. You know the quality that he possesses. A left arm spin bowler. It's always useful to have sort of spin bowler in your arsenal in a T20 match. Just trying to get the field placing precise. As I said in the pitch report, the wicket is excellent for batting. It is hard. The cracks has really rolled in nicely. Just very little cracks in the surface. So what would feel like some sort of like a concrete wicket out here this evening. Tonight might just be a good night for someone to stay and bat to get 100. Fancy the chances on this sort of surface. As I said, this is one of the best, I believe it's the best surface so far for batting in this Big Six T20 tournament. This evening proves to be, might just be a real nail-biting of a finish. Good delivery, but swept off the middle stump, and it will go into the boundary for the first 4 of the innings. So the Sunrisers are really and truly on the way here. Tariq would want to start that delivery a little bit outside or more off stump line-ish. I think down that middle and leg, batsmen would really favor the chances on the surface. Down the leg side again. Oualie, as I said earlier, they will be desperate for a victory here going into the business end of the tournament. Last match of the preliminary rounds. Saturday, it will be semi-finals day. And Sunday, it will be the grand finals. Who will be in it? I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. All teams are still eligible for advancing. Beautiful shot, clearing the infield. And he didn't move. He hit it and he just stared at it. Beautiful shot over Qualie Sports for a boundary. Over comes to an end. An eventful over, just as well. Not just, but it's 2 boundaries so far. And the Oualie sports management team will be hoping to really pin down the batsmen of the Sunrisers. As we saw early in previous matches, Cornelius really setting the innings alight early on. I believe he'll be really looking to replicate that, and even better that. He got himself a half century in the previous match. It'll be medium pacer operating from the city end. And he starts off with a wide. He'll be looking to really try and get this one closer to the line of the off stump. Just a little bit of swing there. Something encouraging for him. Probably pitch that ball up. Try to get that ball to move away from the right-hander. Another wide. It's important and intriguing. He start well here on the surface. Batting friendly conditions out there. Better delivery. Swung away. So very encouraging signs, as I said, for the bowler. That ball just moving away, nipping away from the right-hander. Right-hander. They've raced on to 16 without loss. The City Sunrisers. Adrian Williams. Be encouraging that signs that they could probably just get a man in that gully region. That ball moving away from the right-hander. Short delivery, and it's given him. The umpire raises the finger, the dreaded finger, and the batsman is not pleased with that. But as they say in the game of cricket, the umpire decision is final. And he was disappointed. He's still there, short prodding, but then again, he has to go back to the cleaners. And a very eventful over. Richards really disappointed. You could see the long dreaded walk back to the dugout. He is not happy here, folks. But jubilation for the Oualie sports management cricket team. They draw first blood here. It's 16 for 1. Adrian Williams will feel very, very, very happy with that wicket. It was a short ball down the leg side. The batsman trying to pull that delivery. He's unable to make contact. Well, he got a slightest of edges on it, and he had to go back to the cleaners. Another wide. We saw him in previous matches. He picks up wickets, but he has a problem with bowling, a lot of wide deliveries. Here and there, he bowls a very good short delivery. It's just a matter of working on that. Trying to get that ball coming down straighter. The closer to the stumps would probably help that cause. Very close to the line of wide again. The umpire judged it. It's okay. So encouraging signs for him, as I said. He needs to put that ball closer to the line of the off stump. Getting the batsman to play. It's very important to allow the batsman to play earlier on his innings. Try to avoid giving him sighters. Get him into his work early on. Trying to work him out. Trying to see what swing is on offer. And then again, some more swing. You see that ball going down to short third man. The captain need to realize that I would probably employ a second slip and a gully for the right-hander. Ball is still new. It will swing a bit. 17 for 1. Short delivery, and it will go into the fence for 4. Nicely timed by Cornelius. Just flicking this one. And it got the legs to go over the ropes for a boundary. So it is 21 for 1. And we are into the second over. Better delivery from Cornelius. They will push again and they will try to come back for 2, but decide against it. Wonderful side here under the lights at the picturesque Warner Park as the over comes to an end. And at the end of the second over, the City Sunrisers are 22 for 1. Lost a wicket in that previous over. Tariq Newman to continue from the media center end. He'll be looking to really get that ball more towards the line of the off stump. Big Six T20 cricket tournament. Really and truly into this tournament, the business end of this tournament. The final match in the preliminary rounds. That's what the Oualie team needs to do. Apply pressure. A few dot balls here and there. Have to keep the batsmen thinking and guessing. Over comes to an end. I believe it will be Williams to continue, Adrian Williams. Beautiful shot, glorious shot by Cornelius. Not moving, just stand and deliver sort of shot. And he picks up a boundary. That's the shot of the evening for the match so far. Excellent shot there by Cornelius. Just extending the arms. Quick and efficient bat flow. And just hitting through the line of the ball. That was an excellent shot. How will Williams respond here? Pulled away. Fielder down on the long on boundary. Has some work to do. He will just cut it off. Excellent work by him. They will come back for the second. So Cornelius starts off well here. Seems to be a very aggressive young man. He has a half century to his name so far in this Big Six tournament. Nice shot again, but it will just be straight to the fielder. So good start by Sunrisers. They're 30 for 1 in 3.2 overs. Oualie would really want to pick up another wicket here. The prize wicket. One would feel if they get the prize wicket here, so off Cornelius, they'll be in business. It doesn't help themselves. Task goes down the leg side. Wide signal by the umpire. So it'll be 5 wides. They need to be a bit more disciplined with their lines and lengths. The Qualie Sports management. Keep that ball outside the line of the off stump. And Cornelius has signaled his intent in this inning so far. He's prepared to latch on to anything loose. If it's full, if it's short, he will definitely try his best to cash in. flicked away and flicked away very fine, but it will just be the single. Better delivery. He's a better bowler when he pitches that ball up. Over comes to an end. And the end of the fourth, the Sunrisers are 36 for 1. New bowler from the media center end. It'll be quick bowler. Beautiful shot, glorious shot. Just cutting this one away with disdain there. Waited on it and allowing that ball to come to him and just freeing the arms. And that was a wonderful shot there by Jamie Cornelius. Flicked away nicely again. And it'll just be one. So Cornelius timing that ball very nicely this evening. Continuing where he left off in the previous match. Bowled him. Beautiful delivery by the young fast bowler. That's castling the batsman. Going right for him, trying to play that ball, towards the mid-on region. And he was better off trying to hit that ball straight. So wicket for the Oualie Sports Management cricket team. It's 41 for 2. Big Six T20 cricket tournament. City Sunrisers 41 for 2. Cornelius 27 of 16. Herbert picking up his first wicket. Not a good delivery. Just slightly coming into the right-hander. Current run rate is at 9 runs per over, so it's pretty healthy. The new batsman joins Cornelius at the crease is Duran Benta. Benta has been in some real fine form in this tournament so far. Looking to replicate previous couple performances. Jamie Cornelius, Duran Benta. This could smell some real trouble for the Qualie Sports Management cricket team. They don't remove this pair as soon as possible. A gift, really, a gift, and he punishes it over the deep square leg boundary for a massive 6. Cornelius on the charge here for the Sunrisers. Mm. 48 for 2. The Sunrisers, 5 overs bowled, 1 over left in the batting power play. What can they get here? To be the captain, Busu. Terran Busu, left arm spin bowler, tall lad. He will be operating from the city end, looking to get some purchase off the surface. We'll have to see what it brings. Hits this one down to the boundary, and it will have the legs to get into the boundary for 4. So a short delivery to start for Basu, and Benta in the sort of form that he's in, he was never going to miss out on that. Capitalize on that one nicely and picking up another boundary. So the score is 52 for 2. Another one again. He goes and he goes again. Will be one bounce into the fence. Another boundary. Similar shot. Almost replicating what he did the previous delivery. Picking up another boundary. Benta in a real no-nonsense mood here this evening. Quite rightfully so. It's bad bowling. Put away bad bowling. No ball by the signal by the umpire. So Basu has not started very well here so far. He's just bowled 2 deliveries, 2 legal deliveries, and he's already conceded 9 runs. So he's under some pressure here. And it's a free hit. Normally you don't associate no balls, in the game with spinners. But you often see that happen more often. Not too sure why though, but Cornelius going down the track, advancing down the track, and they will come back for two. Luckily for Busso, he didn't really get this one out of the middle of the bat. $60 for two in over number 6. So we have a very healthy run rate. It's going about 10 runs per over. Current run rate is just under 10.5 and over. So they really need to really, as I said, to really remove one of these two batsmen. They're very dangerous players. Mm, 2025 Big Six cricket tournament, T20 cricket tournament. We want to say thank you to our sponsors, St. Kitts Tourism Authority, St. Kitts Cricket Association, the St. Kitts Ministry of Sports, D&D Construction, Rick's Excavator and Trucking Services, Azul Printers, El Dorado Rum, Smart Electronics, Island Purified Water, Trebless Delights, and Islander Water Sports. These are the sponsors of the 2025 Big Six T20 cricket tournament here. New bowler, Jaden Carmichael. Good delivery by Carmichael. Just spinning on with the arm, just going away with the arm. Good delivery. It's interesting to see how he goes about on this surface. As I said, it's a very good surface for batting. So he would need to really change up his pace here. Slower one, quicker one, vary his deliveries. He doesn't want to be predictable on this sort of surface. Nice looking shot from Cornelius. They will try for two, but they decide not this time. cheeky shot from Darren Benter. Trying to paddle sweep that delivery from Carmichael. Jaden Carmichael comes to an end. And the end of the 7th, it is 63 for 2. The City Sunrisers. Darren Benter is 11 of 9, and Jamie Cornelius 37 of 23. Down the leg side, wide. Well, Busu, captain, really needs to be a bit more disciplined than that. Don't want to be giving away freebies on this sort of surface. Pulled away nicely, and it will go over the head of the man at short mid wicket into the boundary for 4. And Darren Benter really and truly signaling his intent here this evening. And squad's moved on to 68 for 2 in the 8th over. Benter is the leading run scorer in this tournament so far, folks. I believe he has somewhere about close to that 150 run mark in 3 overs, and it's still pending because he's still out there. So he could really add more to the total here. He's been in some real fine form in this tournament. 2 matches previously, he's got 2 half centuries. Note 83 and 51. 83 not out, that is, in the first match of their encounter. There's a lot of chat, a lot of talk going out there on the field. The captain trying to marshal his troops here, trying to get the field placing precise. Loud appeal there by Birambusu. And there was some sort of noise. I'm not too sure what it would have been. The fielders were up and they were animated, but the umpire says not out. Jamie Cornelius, dangerous customer. No ball again from Tyrone Bissou. He's had his problems. Continues. It will be a free hit. Benter will be looking to really cash in here. Trying that paddle sweep, and I believe it will just be successful, going over the head of the man at short fine leg into the boundary for 4. So that was a very nice shot there, very inventive by Duran Benta. So the over comes to an end, and the score is 75 for 2. The City Sunrisers. It will be Carmichael to continue. Bowls a steady ball. Nice shot. Good feeling there, the young man. That short, fine leg. Surely, if that got away from him, it would have definitely go into the boundary for 4. Duran Benta. J. Carmichael. It's gone up in the air. And fielder will come under it, but it will just go safe. And he will just get this one in. But went close to the ropes. So very good fielding there by him. I believe it's Williams down there on the mid-off boundary. Trying to cut this one a bit too close. Just scheming back with the arm. Nice touch. Good running. Young man seems to be a very good fielder. As I mentioned earlier on here, folks, this wicket is extremely good for batting. Bad delivery down the leg side, and really and truly got the treatment. Cornelius was never going to miss out on that, cashing in nicely. And another boundary here for the Sunrisers. So the score races on to 83 for 2 in the 9th over. The current run rate is just under 9.5 per over. And Jamie Cornelius is on 43, eyeing another half century in this tournament. And he has been 6 half centuries, 7 half centuries in this tournament so far. Not a bad delivery down the leg side. So it seems to me that Carmichael has just been straying a bit, struggling with his line. Can't afford to be bowling wide deliveries. Good shot from Jamie. It'll just be a 1. And at the end of the over, at the end of the 9th over, it is 85 for 2. Duran Benta on 23 of 17 and Jamie Cornelius 44 of 28 deliveries. The partnership is at 44 of 27 deliveries. And the current run rate is 9.5 per over. Sunrisers in a really commanding position here this evening. If they could get to about 150 in the 50 within the 15th over. They could really launch here and get closer to that 200 run mark. And as I said, the surface is really good for batting. It may not change that much when the Oualie team comes out to bat. So new bowler will be Tyree Jeffers. Tyree Jeffers. He'll be operating from the City end. Pulled away nicely. And it will go into the fence for 4. Beautiful shot from Cornelius. He gets closer, edging closer to that half century, to another half century. He's 48 of 29 deliveries. 89 for 2. The City Sunrisers. Swing and a miss from Cornelius. Jeffers needs to be very careful here. Pitching that ball up. Cornelius loves hitting the ball on the up. Loves driving that ball through the line of the off stump. And there's no protection down there. That deep extra cover region. Wide. See, they continue from here on going at 9.5 and over. They will get to 190 on the surface. It's a very good score. That's a really, really good score. And as of late, the Qualie Sports management team has not been batting too well. Straight to the man there at Bissou. And Teron Bissou is delighted to take that catch. Cornelius, livid with himself. A nothing delivery, really, and it goes straight to the man at short cover. Jubilation for the Oualie team. Disappointment from Jamie Cornelius. He has to go back to the cleaners, and it is 90 for free, the City Sunrisers. Duran Benta is on 23 of 17 deliveries. The required run rate is, the current run rate is still very healthy. Just under 9.5 runs per over. So the wickets so far is Richards, Saunders, and Cornelius recently. 3 wickets down. We really need to tighten the screws here, the Oualie cricket team. Try and restrict these batsmen, limit their scoring opportunities. And what is a good wicket, a good batting strip here at Warner Park? Good ball. Wide delivery. Just guilty of bowling this one a tad too wide. Two wides in quick succession. One outside the off stump, one down the leg side. So you want to better that there here, Jeffers. Flicked nicely down to the boundary to go close to the ropes, but the fielder down there in the final league region does the cleanup. New batsman is Sidan Williams. He joins Benta at the crease. It's 95 for free. They're still in an excellent position here. The Sunrisers. Good delivery. Good delivery by Carmichael. Just going on with the arm, creating that illusion. But angling in. Normally, his deliveries go away from the right-hander and into the left-hander. This time he just went on with the arm. So it's just 12 runs conceded of his 2.5 overs so far. They're going to come back for 1, but poor fielding there. And the batsman would have to say and call himself lucky here. If that was any way accurate, the batsman would have found himself struggling. On the leg side, wrapped on the pad. Just be a single. Cornelius operating between the umpires and the stumps. .99, just one short of 100 in the 11th over. And 100 comes up. Benta has moved on to 27. At the end of the over, the 11th over, it's 100 for free. The City Sunrisers Full toss. And the fielder goes over his head. For a certain time there, the thought that the fielder, Jeffers down there, would have made contact. Well, Newman that was. It was unable to hold on to this one. He could have just watched it sail over his head. So a beautiful shot. 6 runs from Benta. The score moves on to 106. He moves on to 33 of just 22 balls, continuing his fine form in this tournament. Benta. Duran Benta seems to be in excellent form, exceptional form for the Sunrisers team. He plays for another Sunrising team in the Caribbean. Plays here for the City Sunrisers in St. Kitts, also in Dominica. He plays for the Sari Sunrisers franchise, the T10 franchise, Sari Sunrisers, for the past 3 editions, I believe. Duran Benta. He said he's played for quite a few years in the Dream 11 cricket tournament, T10 cricket tournament in Dominica for the Sari Sunrisers. So wicket-keeper batsman, Benta. Right now he's playing for another Sunrisers team here in St. Kitts. So he seems to love the Sunrisers. Benta, young man from the island of Antigua and Barbuda. Loud appeal there by the bowler. You feel this one has been going, went down the leg side. The keeper wasn't interested. Tournament here, the Big Six T20 tournament. It's a real good avenue for the younger players here in St. Kitts and Nevis to really showcase their talent to the world. Get the exposure that they need to continue their cricket. Where it is in Leeward Islands, it's in the Windward Islands, it's in Trinidad, it's in Barbados, anywhere around the world. It just takes one good scouting. And things can change dramatically for you as a cricketer. Pulls away Benter into the fence for another boundary. So he's dealing in boundaries here, Duran Benter. He's raced on to 38 of 26 deliveries. And at the end of the 12th over, the City Sunrisers are 112 for free. So it will be Cadell Croc from the media center end. First time he introduced into the attack here this evening. Looking to do a job here for his team. Sunrisers desperately need the wicket of Duran Benter. Thickish outside edge. And it will run away close to the fence. And it just wins the race here. So nicely timed there by Sidan Williams. One thing I've realized here, folks, this evening, the required run rate has not dropped on the 9 runs per over for the Sunrisers. It's been steady stuff, steady batting here. What is a really, really good track and a really good surface here for batting. It will be really disappointing if the Sunrisers were to fall short here. Big score here on this surface would really do anywhere close to that 200 run mark. It's very, very much on the cards. 8 overs left. One would feel if Benter bats another 3-4 overs here. You never know what could just happen. Played by Williams. Just getting a bottom edge on this one. That's what he needs to do. Just rotate the strike. Keep that scoreboard ticking. Hand over the strike as much as possible up to Benter. He's doing the bulk of the scoring. He's really the man in form. So Herbert comes back into the attack. His first over went for 12, but picking up the very important wicket. Edged and taken. Beautiful catch there by the wicket keeper, dismissing the red benter, trying to cut this one. It was just a bit too wide away from him, and jubilation for the Oualie cricket team. He's very upset, Darren Benter. He was nearing another half century, but tonight that's not to be the case. He has to go back to the cleaners. The score, the Sunrisers, 118 for 4. Herbert seems to have a knack for picking up wickets. Normally, the angle of his deliveries will be going into the right-hander. This one does deviate slightly away from Benter, and almost resulting in the same thing, almost getting an edge to it. So for the first time, the current run rate drops under 9 runs per over. Wide signal by the umpire. And that's what the Oualie team needs to do. Just keep them honest, keep them restricted, limit the scoring opportunities. Another edge, and almost picking up another wicket. Fortunately, for the batsman, it goes past the keeper. So Jordan Herbert really making the ball doing some talking here this evening. Good delivery. Good delivery. Just tucking the batsman up. 124 for 4. That's the third time in the innings the ball goes past the bat. So eventful over comes to an end And at the end of the 14th, Sunrisers 124 for 4. Gonna come back for a second, and he just falls short. He's run out. Well, massive wicket here. I'm not too sure what the batsman is hanging around for. The umpire signaled out. I'm not too sure what he's going back for, maybe to pass a message, but nonetheless, wicket. Sidan Williams has to go back to the cleaners. He was a run out. That second run was never there in my books, but he opted to take and run hard. So untimely run out. It's really halted the score. Benter has left. He goes up, and away, over, and straight. As your uncle, a massive 6 here. Score moves on to 131. Jamali Lynch. Really hitting this one effortless. Tries again. It's over the field for a boundary. He misjudged that, trying to come way in. The ball was going back, and he made a meal of this one on the boundary. And unfortunately, it goes into the fence for 4. So Lynch really living dangerously here. It's raced on to 12. With just 5 deliveries. It's 135 for 5. It's 5 overs after this. He goes again, but this one straight. And it will just be the single. I believe Lynch, Jamali Lynch, looking to really up the ante in the scoring. Nicely tucked. He'll try again and come for 2, but very lucky for the batsman. He went back to his ground. The batsman at the striker's end really backed up way back. So Lynch looking to launch here. It's up and away again. Another maximum. This one goes further into the stands for another maximum. Well, Jamali Lynch really putting bat to ball here this evening. So a big over comes to an end. The score is 143 for 5. 15 overs bowled and 5 overs left. The required run rate is just over 9.5 runs per over. Sunrisers, Jamali Lynch will be hoping, and his team will be hoping, that he stays there to the end. Beautifully timed down the ground. Nice punch. Herbert to continue. He's 2 for 19. Slap down the ground. And they're going to come back for a second run. Misfield there by the wicketkeeper. So Lynch is on 21 of just 8 deliveries. So he's striking at well over 200. Shaquan Pemberton. Partnership is 21 of 7 deliveries. So yeah, going in some real quick pace here this evening. These two. Mostly Lynch doing the bulk of the scoring. Down the track. It's in the air. And it will just go into the fence for 4. Tyreek Newman never had a chance. He tried his best to make the grounds, but was unable. So Lynchy keeps going on, and that brings 150 up. 4 overs left. 150, as I predicted. Getting anywhere close to that 200 run mark will be a real huge ask for this Qualie team. They've been struggling for form in this tournament. Over and he'll watch it. This one has gone into basket for sure. Yes. Massive 6. That's the biggest we've seen this evening and probably throughout the tournament. So Jamali Lynch really stepping on the gas here. And I believe that ball is lost. Yes. It was a clean strike. A beautiful extension of the arms by Jamali Lynch. And slapping this one out of Warner Park. Going well into Bastia. Luckily, my hopes that it didn't hit any vehicle or anyone passing innocently. That's the nature of the game. That was a big 6. I believe that would have been probably about 100, 105 meters. Cleared the stands easily. Lynch has moved on to 25 of just 9 deliveries. He's in scintillating form, I believe. I believe he's from the island of St. Martin. No, he isn't. I'm mistaking him for Morton. Morton from St. Lucia, St. Martin, sorry. That was a really, really massive hit. Wish we had the replays. The benefit of the replays. We'd have to look at that again and again. It was a massive blow. And Tariq was looking at it like it was a rocket launch in space. Just going over his head and just disappeared. So 156 for 5. So I could tell you, he's raced on to 31. And if he continues to bat another 2 or 3 overs here, really and truly the Sunrisers will be on their way towards that 200 mark. Most definitely. Can he continue in that same vein? We'll have to wait and see. Down the track again. It will just be one bounce in. Down there. That's a massive boundary down there as well. Square of the wicket. I believe that's about 73 meters. We haven't seen much boundaries being hit down in that area. Massive space of land down there. I believe we saw about 2 sixes, just about 2 sixes being hit down there by Louvet, the overseas player for the Strikers. And apart from him, I haven't seen anybody even try to target that area. As I said, acres of space down there on that boundary. So the score is 157 for 5. Lynch is on 32 of 12 deliveries, just 12 deliveries. And Shaquan Pemberton is just giving him some good support, just turning the strike over to him, as he should. Carmichael back into the attack from the media center end. He'll be bowling to Lynch. Carmichael is a very tricky customer, so Lynch, let's see what happens here. Down the ground, hit firmly down the ground again. It'll just be a single. Jamali Lynch is really powering this inning so far. The past couple of overs, he's 33 of just 13 deliveries. Carmichael looking to really restrict the batsman. Nice shot down the ground. And they're going to come back for 2 and they'll get it quite comfortably in the end. A better throw would have seen probably Lynch in some bother. So this is the final match, the preliminary match of this tournament on Saturday. Nicely tucked up. And they're going to push. And they will decide against it. Bowled him. Beautiful delivery by Carmichael. It had to take something special to get rid of Lynch. And it was a full and quick delivery right up in the block hole. And Carmichael draws blood here on Lynch. Nonetheless, it was a very good inning. It's come to an end. He got 33 of 13 deliveries. And the City Sunrisers, 161 for 5. Nice delivery. They'll push for a single, but slight misfield will allow them to come back for 2 runs. Important runs here for the Sunrisers. Willett at the crease. He's joined. Well, Willett has joined Pemberton. Three overs left, 18 legal deliveries to come. Jaden Carmichael, excellent spell. 4 overs, 1 for 22. I believe it's Williams. He's come back into the attack, reintroduced into the attack. Good delivery. Is moving away. Nice line and length. Another good delivery from Williams, keeping a tight line off stump line. He's into his 3rd over, Adrian Williams. And he's hit this one high, hard, and handsome. It will go, I believe, just 1 bounce into the fence. So welcome boundary for the Sunrisers. We haven't seen a team gotten to 200 runs in this tournament. I believe the City Sunrisers, a few more big blows here, they will be get close towards that 200. Well, actually, we'll be hoping to. Wanna pack. So no strangers to high scoring affairs. Normally teams really score high here, whether in regional or international, even local cricket. So it's a ground familiar with A lot of runs. I believe tonight will be no exception. And it will go past into the boundary for four. As I said, another welcome boundary for these batsmen. The score is another 172 for six. Up in the air, high, hard, and it will jump into no man's land. The over comes to an end. It's 172 for six.
At the end of the 18th over, City Sunrisers 174 for 6.
Tarek Newman comes into the ending. And he's bowled all over the place. Trying to hit this one over long on, and unfortunately not making contact. Tyreek Newman picks up the wicket.
That's the score of wicket number 7. City Sunrisers 175 for 7 of 18.1 overs. Opening batsman Shafan Pemberton scoring 10 runs. New batsman at the crease, Nishan Leeds.
Tyreek to continue. Firmly down the ground. Good over so far from Tyreek. Nice looking shot. Nice looking shot. It goes down the boundary for 4. Excellent shot. Nice timing by the batsman. Buys. They will take it anyhow they come, the Sunrisers. Swing and a miss. Pemberton. It's not Pemberton. Sorry, folks. It's Willett. I believe it is Williams. Adrian Williams. And they're going to push, and I'm sure they're going to get the 2 runs. Comfortable misfield by the captain to run Busu. Willett was taking up strike. This goes high, and it goes into the stands for a 6. Welcome shot, welcome boundary for the Sunrisers. For over 2 now, it seemed a bit stagnant, but they'll be hoping to loosen the screws, and that was a signal of things to come to really end of proceedings here for them in a massive way. And he goes again, and it goes the same direction into the stands. I believe that's 7 rows back. And another beautiful shot, hoisting it nicely for another maximum here at Warner Park. With it really extending those arms, those long arms of his, just clearing the front foot and just allowing a free flowing bat swing. And he goes again. It's up in the air and it will go into the fence for another six. Whilst three sixes in succession. It's raining sixes here at Warner Park. And a real climax to the innings. Three sixes. And the City Sunrisers will be delighted for that. They end on a 203 for 7. 203 for 7. Excellent batting display here by the City Sunrisers. And a quick cameo from Willett gets the team just over that 200 mark. So the Qualie Sports Management team really has to bat out of their skins here this evening if they had to get close to this sort of total. The highest total in this tournament posted so far, 203 for 7. And some really good batting performances from Cornelius. He got 48, and Darren Benter 38, and Jamali Lynch giving them some good support with 31, quick fire 31, powering them to 203 for 7. So when the Qualie team comes out to bat, they need to get 204 for victory. Stay tuned. We're back here at Warner Park for the resumption of this innings between Sunrisers and the Qualie management team. 204 runs for victory. It will be a tall ask for them to topple that score. They will have to outdo themselves here this evening and post the highest total in this tournament. 203. Some really beautiful batting performance this evening from Jamie Cornelius, Duran Benta, and Lynch, Jamali Lynch. So they'll have to bat out their socks here. First ball on the way. Wheeleton. It's Nisbet. It's not Willett. Misfield. They will come back for a single. So they're off the mark here. So a really good delivery there by Nisbet to restrict these batsmen. So 204 for victory. Good bowling by Nisbet. The heroics of the last game really setting the target and it's really setting the stadium alight. It was excellent bowling performance in the previous match. But today's a new day. He has to come good. These both batsmen really looking to capitalize on anything loose here on this sort of wicket. This is very good for batting. Hence the reason Sunrisers post above 200. Beautiful shot on the up. And it'll just go over the infield. And it'll go into the fence for the first boundary of the innings of the Oualie team. Six without loss. Pulled away very nicely. Another boundary. Very little room for error on the surface. It's that good for batting here, folks. So it will be Lynch to pick up the attack from the City end. Nice purchase, nice carry. Nice carry of the surface. It will be Williams. Jeffers on strike. This total is very gettable on the surface. It's just a matter of applying yourself, and someone needs to bat really deep into the innings. The boundary balls will come. It's a matter of putting them away. Also, running between the wickets is very important here. As we saw, they were very aggressive in their running. The Sunrisers, Benter, Cornelius, just to name a few. It firmly, but it's only just straight to man. Long they had made off. Nice delivery, short stuff, quick delivery by Lynch. Using the surface nicely. Very animated out there, the Sunrisers, and so they should. They posted a very good total here this evening. It's hit high in the air. Fielders coming under it. And it just goes into the boundary for 4. He was running back. It's always a difficult prospect running back to take these catches. You have to judge them very well. But unfortunately for the fielder down there, Pemberton, I believe, he wasn't able to really get his hands under it. He had a lot of ground to cover. But the ball just ended up beating him into the ropes for 4. Needs to continue. Lovely shot, glorious shot. Timing this one nicely. Just standing very straight and just pushing this one, not trying to overhit it, but really making some excellent contact on the ball there and picking up a boundary. A very straight bat, that is. And that shot was worth the admission money alone. Nisbet needs to respond here. What can he do? What does he have up his sleeve? Runs in. Wide signal by the umpire. Loud appeal. An immediate appeal. Everyone was up, including the wicketkeeper. But the umpire stood her ground and said, not out. Wide. There's discussion between umpire and player. And she reverses the decision, and she gives him out. Well, Very interesting times here in the Big Six T20. She reverses that decision and adjusts the batsman out. Speechless here, folks. So the batsman is standing his ground here. Very interesting times in in the Big Six T20. Interesting times. Interesting times. Interesting times here. Warner Park. Nisbet has his tail up. It runs in. It's straight back. The fielder's under it and takes a very nice catch. Pemberton. Jubilation for the Sunrisers. $24 for 1. Tyrese Jeffers. To Jerry Clark. Over comes to an end. Now, at the end of the third, it is 25 for 1. Hit straight back over the bowler. And it would go just into the ropes for 4 runs. So streaky boundary here by the batsman. But nonetheless, it's still 4 runs. $179 runs remaining to get. They need to do it with just 100 balls. So they don't want to get that ball and run gap too far away from each other. They need to keep it as close as possible. Pulled high, hard, and onto the roof for 6 with a bang. Beautiful shot there by the batsman, just helping it on its way. Flicked nicely, sweetly timed, elegant looking drive off the legs, and another boundary. We said that this wicket is good for batting, and it's really proving that. They have raced on to 35. 35 for one. We're just in to the fourth over. We haven't completed it as yet. Nice single, nice touch. So at the end of the fourth, it's 40 for one. So they're going at a run rate of 10 runs per over. To Jerry Clark and Tyrese Jeffers at the crease.
At the end of over number 4, Qualie Sports management, Qualie, go on. Tyrese Jeffers, 14 runs of 8 deliveries. Jerry Clark, 15 runs of 6 deliveries. In need of 164 runs from 96 balls. I want to give special thanks to our sponsors, CNB Series Authority, CNB Series Association, CNB Ministry of Sports, CNB Construction, Leeds Excavator and Trucking Services, and the water one, as we printers, Smart Electronics, and improved water, Sugar Series, and Underwater Sports, General Photography.
Wheel it into the attack from the media center end. Top edge and into the boundary for 4. It flew down there at the man at third man, but it goes for 6. Correction by the umpire. 4 runs. Willett has a very quick arm action, very whippy. Hits the pitch very hard though. Slap down the ground and be intercepted by Pemberton doing the cleanup. Nice slow delivery, nice change of pace. Shows he's really thinking of what he wants to really do out there. With it, the over comes to an end. And at the end of the over, the fifth over, it is 48 for 1.
At the end of over number 5, Qualie Sports management 48 for 1. 156 runs. Reported from 95.
Loud appeal, struck in front. The umpire says not out. And it overthrows. And it will go real close to the boundary. Pemberton has been very busy this evening. Nicely looking time shot, and it will go all the way misfield, and it will go for 4. The captain, I believe, just falling guilty of this. Jamie Cornelius, normally a safe pair of hands in the field. Over the infield, nice looking shot. And it'll go close. And the fielder will just win the race. So it's a really, as I said, it's a really good wicket for batting. They have raced on here to 57 for 3. 57 for 1, sorry. Lovely cricket, very good to watch, very pleasing on the eye, this batsman. Nice. Oh, it will just evade the wicket keeper, and they will come back for a single. So wide as well. Another slow delivery. Very smart cricket, but the batsman equal to the task. Flicking this one nicely, and it will just go into the ropes, and I believe it may just be a boundary. We don't have the benefit of the replay. From my vantage point, it may seem to probably go into the fence, but nonetheless, the umpire decision is final. At the end of the over, it is 59 for 1 after 6. Back here, will it to continue from the media center end? Short delivery, but pulled away into the night sky for a boundary. One bounce into the fence. Of the naked eye, it didn't really look like he made good contact, but he got enough legs to get into the boundary for 4. Loud appeal, but umpire says not out a bit. I believe it was just a bit too high. Slap hard and straight down the ground. It will just probably be the one. Yes. Yes, bit does the cleanup. Well bowled by Willett. Swing and a miss, but I believe it was just, yes, a wide signal by the umpire. So they're in a really good position, the Qualie team. The Oualie team. So they are on par with the run rate. It's just about 10. So they are doing very well so far. Swing and a miss. Good delivery, good thinking. Slowing up. Over comes to an end. 7 done. 71 for 1. Tyrese Jeffers is on 24 of 16. And Adrian Williams, well, he's not here anymore. He went for 9. And Tajiri Clark is on 29 of 16. So both batsmen are really, really going in a rush here this evening.
At the end of the seventh over, Qualie Sports Management 71 for 1. Vijay Clark 21 runs, Tyrese Jeffers 24.
Just be a single. I believe it's Cornelius. Cornelius have a knack for picking up wickets. Bowls a slow off break, really enticing and tempting the batsman into a false shot. And it goes high into the night sky, and it goes back onto the floodlights. One bounce onto the grass banks for a massive 6. Beautiful shot there by Clark. As I made the point earlier, and I'll keep saying it, this is an excellent wicket for batting. No ball signaled by the umpire. Well, a freebie, not where you'd want to be bowling, going over the line. I could tell you, these batsmen are really taking it to the Sunrisers. And this is what they need to do. They need to show some fight. They are showing fight out there. They are showing grit, and it's wonderful to see. Pull away again. Firmly down there, but it will just be a single. Another no ball again. Well, he's having difficulties with those no balls, overstepping those lines. Massive hit. High. Into the road. Not in the stadium, folks. That one is on the road into Bastia. I'm not too sure what you call this part of Bastia. East Park Range. So my technician just mentioned me is East Park Range. So that was a big hit. I hope there's no vehicles close to there because I'm telling you, one would have gotten smashed. That was a big hit.
At the end of the eighth over, Qualie Sports Management 90 for 1.
90 for 1. Yeah, on par here. That gap between runs and balls are really shortening. Single down to Mignon. Nice touch. You can clearly see the bowling team under pressure here. The fielders are back. Those in the circle are not even stopping one. So there's lots of singles on offer here. So they need to play smart cricket here. Play between the sticks. Pick up the ones and twos when the boundaries come on offer, which they will. You really put them away. Up in the air. High. And the fielder's under it. And he takes it. Big wicket for Oualie and the Sunrisers.
And that's the score of cricket number 2. Vijay scored 45 runs on 22 deliveries. Qualie Sports Management 92 for 2. England batsman Qualie Sports. Qualie Sports Management requires 111 runs in 16 hours.
come back again for 2. Over comes to an end. And at the end of the over, it is 94 for 2.
At the end of over number 9, Qualie Sports Management 96 for 2. All of this a special thank you to our sponsors, CND Schools Authority, CND Cricket Association, CND Ministry of Sports, DND Construction, Ritz Excavator and Trucking Services, Eldorado Web, Azure Printers, Smart Electronics, Island Purified Water, Chemist Lights, Island Water Sports, Jermaine Willis Photography. Thank you.
Benta into the attack. Slow, medium pace bowling. The batsmen will certainly try to make their own pace. Nice looking shot. Nice shot. Well, they're really on their way here. They're motoring around nicely. This wicket is really good for batting. So it's over so far. It's over 300 runs scored this evening so far, and it's not done yet. We're just halfway through the innings of the Oualie team. Lots of cricket left to play. Lots of runs left to score. Tyrese Jeffers on 36 not out. Partnership is just 10. The current run rate is at 10. So they are on par with the run rate. All the bowlers being expensive except Willett. Bowled him. Comprehensively bowled by Durant Benta. He's done it with the bat and he's doing it now with the ball. Take a bow, Benta. He has to go for 36, Tyrese Jeffers. Captain strides to the crease. Tehran powerfully hit straight down the ground. Nice looking shot to get off the mark.
At the halfway stage, Qualie Sports Management, 104 for 3. 100 runs required from 60 balls.
Powerfully hit down the ground. LaShawn Weeks, the new bowler, operating from the media center end. Caught nicely. Beautiful shot. Pleasing on the eye. Wonderful shot. Down to the widest point region for 4 runs. Misu seems to be really timing the ball nicely, hitting it off the middle of the bat, picking up the singles. Very interesting times. They're way ahead at this stage. The Qualie Sports Management cricket team. Edged and taken. That was a big edge. You could stay right here in the come box and hit that. And the batsman has to go back. Well, a massive wicket in the context of this. And I believe it is Tyree Jeffers.
And that's the ball of wicket number 4 for Oualie Sports Management. Outgoing batsman, Tyree Jeffers, scoring 2 runs from 2 balls. New batsman at the crease, Tyrone Newman. Oualie Sports Management in need of 100 runs.
New batsman, Tarek Newman. Loud appeal. Umpire says not out. And Tarek really needs to get some runs here. He's not been amongst the runs so far this tournament. Over comes to an end, the eventful over. And after 11 overs, it's 112 for 4. "92 runs, 54 balls. I believe this partnership is the make or break of this innings. If they believe they could break this partnership here, Sunrisers, they're well in with a chance of capping victory. But if these two can stay here for another 4 or 5 overs, it'll be a real interesting final couple of overs. Bowling those slower deliveries, back of the hand stuff. Loren Benta may seem to be not very serious with the ball, but he's doing a very good job for his team. Dot balls, singles. He's bowled 9 legal deliveries and he's just conceded 9 runs. So the captain will take that any day, and he's picked up a very important wicket of Jeffers. Flick, and it will be cut off by the man down there. Williams. And this one is 6 before the moment it left the bat. Beautiful shot there from Busu, the captain, number 50. Flicking this one nicely, just using the pace of Benta. One of the few deliveries he's pushed through this evening, Duran Benta. Struck outside the line of the off stump, stifled the appeal. The over comes to an end. And at the end of 12 overs, it's 121 for 4. The Qualie Sports Management, 83 of 49 balls.
Qualie Sports Management, 121 for 4. In need of 82 runs and 48 balls straight. Television, 10 runs. Tally Dillon with the score.
Come back for 2 runs. Nicely timed again down there on the boundary. It'll just be one this time. And he pulls this one into the night sky for a massive six, targeting that big boundary. And he took some hitting. The big man, Terran Basu, captain, maximizing here this evening for the Qualie Sports management team. He goes again over the coverage and another boundary. So they're leaking runs here this evening. This over the City Sunrisers. And the required run rate is very manageable at the moment. Just 74 runs required of 45 balls. As I said, if these two bat to another 2 to 3 overs, you know, the game will really be truly in the hands of the Qualie Sports management team. A wicket here may just spell trouble for them. 70 runs to get, 44 balls. Strange looking shot. He needs to realize, the captain, he needs to realize he needs to bat as long as possible here. Take it into the innings. Take it deep into the innings. If he feels he gets out at this point, you know, it will, as I said, it will spend a lot of trouble for Qualie. Tyrese as well has a very important job to do. He turns the strike over to Terran. Give him good support. Pick up the ones and twos. Over comes to an end. At the end of 13, it's 135 for 4. 69, 43 balls to play. And it will go down to the ropes. And it will go for 4. So it's 4 byes. Terran Bissou. As I said, he needs to be careful here. He needs to play a captain's knock. The other night, Terrence Ward really displayed that with the bat. Getting 73 odd, guiding his team home, picking up the ones and twos also, you know, clearing the boundaries to the maximum. A very tricky period at the moment. Bissou needs to really negotiate these few deliveries from Benta as best he can. Pulled away. Beautiful shot. Tarek Newman. And they're edging away from this total. They're edging closer to that total. Still a lot to get. 64 runs to get. Edging closer and closer home. They need a victory. They need to start racking up some victories going into the semi-finals.
At the end of the 14th over, ASL 144 for 4. 60 runs required and 36 deliveries.
Will it to continue? And be bowling to Captain Basu. Leg buys. Good delivery. Nice slow delivery up in the block hole. Negotiated nicely from the batsman. Testament of this wicket, how good it is for batting. Over 350 runs have scored so far in this match. And there's still a lot more runs to get, I believe. Good delivery. Tucking up Tarek. Hit him on the thigh pad. I'm not too sure he has a thigh pad. A loud noise here up in the com box. Beautiful delivery. Just deceiving Newman. And he overcomes to an end. And at the end of the 15th, it is 147 for 4. 57 runs required. 31 balls. They are to get them in. Captain is at the crease. joined by Tarek Newen.
At the end of the 15th over, OSL 147 for 4, 57 runs required from 30 balls.
Benta continues. It will be a no ball signaled by the umpire. So it's a free hit from Benta. I want to say good evening to all our listeners via Facebook, viewing our live stream of this cricket match. Thank you for viewing. I encourage them to share the live. It's gone up in the air from Tariq. Well, it was a free hit. As I said, good evening to our listeners. Or good morning, wherever you are, which parts of the world you are. Wonderful cricket here. Big Six T20 cricket tournament. Interesting matching up on our hands here. We may just have a nail-biting finish here, folks. Good delivery. Pressure. That's what pressure does. I believe that Teron Busu is really trying to eye up that mid-wicket boundary. 3 dot balls so far. He doesn't like to be bogged down. It'll be interesting to see how he plays this next delivery. Flick down the boundary. It will be 4 more. Into the ropes. Well, a full toss straight down the leg side, Darren Benta, and it got the treatment into the ropes for 4. The 150 is up for the Qualie team. Powerfully hit down the ground again. So 25 balls, 50 runs. So they need to step on the gas here. Qualie. Overcome Sonnen from Darren Benta. They need to keep going, but also try their best not to lose wickets.
Qualie Sports Management 155 for 4, 49 runs required from 24 balls.
So it's 49 of 24 balls. My mistake. Bowled him. Very poor shot there from Teron Busu. And I believe that might just be the game in the bag there for the Sunrisers. So we hit the ball very nicely. We spoke about the importance of him batting towards the end, but that will not be the case He's just been toppled by the fast bowler Nisbet.
Incoming batsman, Jaden Carmichael. Seven Mr. Rose scoring 30 runs from 25 balls, 2 fours, 2 sixes.
Carmichael comes to the crease. Jaden Carmichael. Nisbet comes back into the attack and immediately, his first delivery, he picks up a wicket. An all-important wicket of the captain, Teron Bersu. Ball him! Well, that's a beautiful delivery. That castled the off stump. Sent the off stump flying. Wow, that was a magnificent delivery. And the game is within reach for the Sunrisers, I believe.
Qualie Sports Management 125 for 6 of 16.2 balls. Outgoing batsman Jaden Carmichael. New batsman the crease, Jamil Fairfield.
Well, it's been 2-2 for Nesbitt. And just like that, the game turns and swings back and forth. That's the beauty of T20 cricket. Good delivery, but negotiated nicely. quick delivery from the bowler. I believe he might just be one of the quickest of the bunch in this tournament, along with Rashid.
Yes.
16.4 overs bowled so far. Well, the good thing for the positive thing for the Qualie team is Tariq. Tariq Newman is still at the crease, so there's still a bit of hope. And not with shot like these. Eventful over, 2 wickets from it comes to an end, and at the end of the 17th over, the Qualie Sports management team are on 157 for 6.
One fifty-seven for six of 17 overs. 47 runs retired from 18 balls. 47 runs retired from 18 balls for victory.
Good delivery. Lynch to pick it back up the attack. So they employ the both fast bowlers, the opening bowlers. Earlier on, they're back on into the attack, looking to end things here well for them. Well, they need to go big here. They need a big over. It's very simple. They need at least 3 sixes in this over to get back on line with things. This one is moving quickly away from them. The Oualie cricket team. Hit hard straight back on the ground. Hit high over the head of the captain Cornelius. They will come back for two and they will get it quite comfortably. Quick delivery from Lynch, beating Tarek for pace, and the over comes to an end. And at the end of the 18th over, it is 63 for 6. 41 required. 12 balls, 2 overs to get them. They need something special from here, folks.
At the end of the 18th, Qualie Sports management 163 to 6. Qualie runs required in 12 deliveries. 41 runs required in 12 deliveries.
Thanks. Slapped, but straight to man. It will just be a single. And Williams, the new bowler, young man. Well, if anybody has to get the game to something where they could probably reach, probably would be Tariq. Flicked up in the air. Fielders under it, but it sails into the grounds for 6. Nicely timed from Tariq. 1 second there, I thought he mistimed it, would have gone straight to the fielder, but it goes in to the grass banks for a 6. Thirty-three of 11 balls. Swing and a miss from It's 33 from 10. 33 from 10. Tariq is 17 of 17. Just going at a run a ball. He would love to get that to about 150. Down the leg side, and it will go for another 6. Well, a big hit from Therese. It's a maximum. That goes far, far into the stands. Tariq, 23 of 18. They need at least three more of that for sure. 27 of 9 deliveries. Down the ground, straight down the ground. And it will just be a single. Tariq probably thought it would have been in a boundary. Unfortunately, it didn't go into the boundary for 4. He has no choice. They need a small matter of 26 of 8 deliveries. It's very gettable, but one would feel they would need to get at least a boundary in this over again if they are to stand a chance. Just a single, so he's quite keen on just handing the strike back over to Tariq. I'm not too sure what he was trying to do. They need boundaries. He was looking to keep the strike. An eventful over and strange over comes to an end. It is 179 for 6. They need 25 runs of the last 6 balls. The Qualie Sports management team, if they are to get over the line here this evening. Final over to come. 26 runs. Lynch to end the proceedings. It's not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. It will just be a single. So 24 of 5 deliveries. They need a small matter of 4 sixes to win this one. Tension at the Woodland Park cricket ground. Can Tariq create history? Can he create some heroics here for his team this evening from fireworks? And it goes down the boundary, and I believe it will go into the boundary for 4. Yes, it goes into the boundary for 4. So it's 20 runs. 4 balls. It's been a real run fest here this evening. Almost 400 runs has been scored in this match. Lauren Benter will be at short fine leg. Well, I believe that might just be the game. He would have to hit 3 sixes back to back to win this one. It will just be a single. So the Sunrisers, the sun is actually rising right now. They require 17 off 2 balls. Unless something really ridiculous happens here, folks. The Sunrisers will be victorious here this evening. But it's been a wonderful cricket match. Over 400 runs are scored, almost, as I said. So just credit to the ground staff for excellent wicket. Preparation was excellent. Dry wicket. Very little moisture in it, but it was really good for batting. And the batsmen really put on a show. Strangely, no one got to a half century. The closest was Jamie Cornelius. He got 48. He hit hard, straight down the ground. And it goes into the fence for 6. But really good effort from the Oualie team. Excellent stuff from Tariq. He finishes with 35 of 24 balls. And the City Sunrisers, victory. Winning by 10 runs here at the Warner Park Cricket Ground. And going into the next round of the tournament in some really fine form. So excellent cricket all around with bat and ball. We've been treated to a really exciting game of cricket here this evening, folks. But nonetheless, there's 1 to win, 1 to lose. Sunrisers victorious here this evening. But credit must be made to the Qualie Sports management team. They really tried their best. They tried to bat as deep as possible. They tried to take it home. They just fell short. Getting 203 for 7 City Sunrisers. And Qualie just getting 192. Kudos to them for trying. But we'll be off to the next round of this tournament on Saturday, folks. So, as for me, Joel Mingo, the scorers, the technicians, the cameramen, the groundsmen, we will say good night for this evening, and we will see you on Saturday for the double header, the semi-finals of this tournament, and grand finals on Sunday. So have a pleasant evening, and thank you for viewing. We will see you on Saturday.